This harassment thing is just not making any sense. After working for this film for almost 2 years, together collaborating, text messages, voice memos, getting along, joking, we never had an issue. Spent hours together in the editing room when she wanted to come in and see what I was working on. No director would ever let an actor just come in and help them edit the film. And just because I said no, the one time I said no, when she wanted to edit the entire film with me, I said, listen, just come back after I got something together. I'll show you what I have and give me some notes on it. And just because I said no that one time in the entire 2 years, suddenly I'm blocked out of my own picture. Sony's giving it to her. Ryan and Taylor are gonna promote it. And I'm just left to be in some dungeon in my own movie premiere that I worked on for 5 years.
I would like to apologize for our little conversation earlier.
This harassment thing is just not making any sense. After working for this film for almost 2 years, together collaborating, I felt like we were on the same page and I felt good in the moment. And for her to use this vulnerable moment against me, it's just disgusting, man.
Hollywood drama has become its own spectacle, but this one, it's on a whole other plane. Imagine this: Justin Baldoni, the man behind turning Nicholas Sparks' stories into films, Blake Lively, the ultimate master of sarcasm and flawless hair, and just when you thought it couldn't get wilder, Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift coming together like an unexpected superhero team-up.
Hear that Taylor may have had some influence in getting yes.
Before the break, and then after the break, suddenly there's this weird thing going on with all these demands. I met him at their place and Ryan blows up on me. And then Taylor's looking at me like I'm some criminal. And then even after all that, we still got along well. We talked to each other with respect and got along.
I would like to apologize for our little conversation earlier. You're a nice guy, you know? You're just such a nice guy. You're pro-women, you're pro-nice, just so nice.
Now throw in a $400 million lawsuit, and you've got the makings of the juiciest Hollywood showdown of the decade. So, what's the real story? Did Blake Lively orchestrate a career-ending move, or is Justin Baldoni caught in the crossfire of a Hollywood power struggle gone off the rails?
You know, man, I went in there to talk to her about, Sony's concern and the backlash with the wardrobe, and not to mention fans upset about the casting and all that. And I went in there to discuss that with her. In that moment, I wasn't crying, man. I did get a little bit emotional.
Get ready, because things are about to get scorching. Let's kick things off where every wild Hollywood drama begins: leaked evidence. Apparently in Tinseltown, deleting text messages is not a thing. Here's the scoop. Blake Lively accused Justin Baldoni of some seriously unprofessional behavior on set, like improvising intimate scenes without any prior warning. Ouch, right? But hold up. There's a plot twist. Leaked texts and voice memos paint a totally different picture. Turns out, Blake might have been the one calling the shots on those scenes, skipping over intimacy coordinators like she's in line to direct the next Quentin Tarantino flick. And just when you think it can't get crazier, there's even footage, actual footage, of Blake seemingly running the set, completely contradicting her own statements. You'd think with all this evidence, Hollywood would quickly turn into a courtroom drama, but instead we're getting a masterclass in playing the victim, or maybe just really terrible texting habits. And just when you think the situation couldn't get any messier, bam, it does. Leaked texts are one thing, but video footage? That's like the universe saying, watch this. And trust me, we're just getting started. What happens next? Oh, it's about to get a whole lot messier. Now, let's dive into creative control, the go-to excuse for adults acting like toddlers fighting over the last cookie. Apparently, Blake Lively wasn't just content with starring in the movie, she wanted a hand in editing, directing, and who knows, maybe even running the craft services table. Word on the street is, she demanded co-editorial control over the film.
And the reason is being that she comforted me in that moment of dealing with Sony's frustration. That's a lot of pressure on me to make this film great. And she complimented me about being a good actor and a good director, and that we're gonna make a great project. And in that moment, I felt that this woman respected me, this actor, this peer respected me, and I felt good about what we were making. And I look up to her as an actress, so I felt like we were on the same page, and I felt good in the moment. And for her to use this vulnerable moment against me, it's just disgusting, man.
You heard that right? Blake wanted to decide which scenes made the final cut like it was her personal TikTok feed. But when Justin shut that down with a firm, no thanks, Blake pulled a classic Hollywood power move. Enter the cavalry, Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift. Because why not turn this into a double date of drama, right? But hold on, it gets even crazier. Word on the street is that Blake used her influence, basically Hollywood's equivalent of the Infinity Stones, to lean on Sony, pushing them to back her vision for the film. Picture this. The boardroom is buzzing. Ryan Reynolds cracking jokes, Taylor Swift somehow penning a diss track about the entire situation in real time, and poor Justin sitting there, utterly bewildered, wondering how his rom-com had morphed into a high-stakes action flick. But let's face it, Hollywood isn't exactly a place where fairness thrives. When you've got two A-listers and the Queen of Pop teaming up, it's like trying to win a tug-of-war with one arm tied behind your back. And trust me, the creative control drama was just the beginning. Things were about to get a lot messier with some twists nobody could have predicted. If you thought Hollywood friendships were built to last, think again. Let me introduce you to the reality of fair-weather alliances. Justin Baldoni thought he had an ally in Colleen Hoover, the best-selling author behind the book his film was based on. But as it turns out, loyalty in Tinseltown can be a very fleeting thing.
And even Colleen won't talk to me. I thought we were friends.
At first, Colleen Hoover was all in, praising Justin like a proud mom at her kid's school play. But then cue Blake Lively, stepping in like a chess master ready to flip the board. Suddenly, Colleen's loyalties flip, and she's backing Blake as if she's trying out for Mean Girls Hollywood Edition. So, what happened? Did Blake promise her endless Met Gala invites or a cameo in the next Ryan Reynolds blockbuster? No one knows for sure, but whatever it was, it worked. Now, poor Justin was left looking like he'd been cast in his own breakup scene. One minute, he's the golden boy with the author on his side. The next, he's watching Colleen switch teams faster than you can say plot twist. Hollywood friendships? They're like contracts, full of fine print, and they expire when the drama kicks in. But hold on, it gets juicier. The alliances weren't just shifting, they were spinning. Colleen Hoover wasn't the only one jumping ship. Blake allegedly began rallying other collaborators, turning Justin's dream project into what can only be called Survivor Movie Set Edition. Backstabbing, alliance building, you get the picture. And just when it seemed like Justin was about to give up, the big question looms: how far is Blake willing to go to make sure she comes out on top?
Hey, Justin, not trying to bug you, but that playlist you sent me was good. So I was just checking in again about possibly seeing the dailies because, oh my God, Ryan and Taylor loved the clips you sent me. So I was hoping to see if I could just get in there really quick and see a few of the other shots and see if I can give you some of my thoughts on them. Just let me know if there's time.
Spoiler alert, Blake's determination to go all in, it's way beyond what anyone expected. Brace yourselves, because the fallout, both public and private, is about to spiral into a total mess. The timeless Hollywood tactic, saying one thing in front of the public while doing something completely different behind the scenes. Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively, they've got it down to an art. Picture Justin out there in interviews, hyping up Blake's skills like she's the next Meryl Streep.
Blake Lively could have chemistry with a rock. It could have been just a tree and there would have been chemistry. And it'd be like, oh my God, the tree did so good with... That's a compliment, Blake. She's that talented, so I take no credit.
All the while, dodging metaphorical daggers aimed right at him. He was out there saying things like, Blake is incredible, exceptional, a true star, unlike anything we've seen before, while behind closed doors, she was reportedly pulling the strings of the chaos like the conductor of a very disordered orchestra.
Blake, I don't want you to stress about this 1 sec, Alpe. Everybody knows you just had a baby, and we didn't bring you onto this project not knowing what your position was. We brought you on here because of your mind, your talent, your interest, and passion for the film, and whatever you are comfortable with is what we're gonna put on screen, and I guarantee it's gonna be amazing. You don't have to worry about anything. You will be shown in an amazing light, and it's the last thing on my mind when it comes to producing this film. People are going to fall in love with you as Lily, and that's it. There's nothing to worry about, and I know you're bringing your A game every single day, so I want you to put that in the back of your mind and know that it's in the back of my mind, because we are focused on moving forward on this project, and you are going to kill it 1000%.
Meanwhile, Blake wasn't exactly holding back her thoughts, just not to Justin's face. Instead, she took the more subtle approach, publicly undermining him while sending texts like, "Great work today." Cue the slow clap. What we have here, folks, is professional gaslighting in its most perfected form. It's like complimenting someone while secretly stealing their dessert. Iconic but ruthless. And here's the twist. Those private texts, they weren't all full of shade. In the beginning, there were apparently moments of genuine respect between them, which makes this entire situation feel like the Hollywood version of a terrible rom-com. It begins sweet, takes a sharp turn and ends with everyone exchanging cold stares at award shows. You know, that typical, we'll fake it for the cameras, but don't even think about approaching me off stage. But here's the million-dollar question. Was Blake playing a long game from the start, or did this feud spiral out of control faster than anyone could have predicted? Either way, the cracks in their carefully crafted public images were beginning to show, and accusations of manipulation were lurking just beneath the surface. Now, let's dive into the really juicy part, the claims of manipulation. What's a Hollywood scandal without someone pulling the strings behind the scenes like they're auditioning for a Bond villain role? Rumors are flying that Blake Lively wasn't just a co-star in the film, she was allegedly running the whole production like her own personal chess game. Forget about knights and pawns, she was apparently orchestrating moves with collaborators and studio execs. According to the story, Blake is said to have turned Justin's own team against him in the blink of an eye. We're talking secret texts, hushed conversations, and potentially fabricated claims that made Justin feel like the outsider who didn't get invited to the group chat. Imagine directing a movie while half your team is secretly RSVPing to Blake's party. Brutal. But here's where it really heats up. The video even compares Blake's supposed moves to, you guessed it, Amber Heard. The allegation? Blake allegedly mastered the art of public manipulation and professional sabotage while keeping up the facade of being Hollywood's darling. If that's true, someone should seriously consider giving her an Oscar, because that level of manipulation takes some serious commitment. As for Justin, he's being painted as the victim. Just a guy trying to make a movie, only to find himself stuck in a Hollywood tragedy. Only instead of poison daggers, he's dealing with press leaks and court documents. But, as crazy as it all sounds, the situation isn't as straightforward as it seems. What's real? What's made up? And what's simply Hollywood doing what it does best? That's where the waters get murky. And here comes the grand finale, the unverified claims. Because honestly, what's a Hollywood drama without a big ol' asterisk slapped on it? Let's face it, this story has more rumors than a high school gossip circle. Every detail we've covered comes with the disclaimer, allegedly. It's the Hollywood version of saying, this might be true, but don't come for me. Honestly, someone should trademark that. All of this, the leaked texts, the shifting loyalties, the sabotage rumors, is based on hearsay and subjective takes. In other words, it's got more speculation than a poker table at a Vegas casino. 1 minute, Blake's the villain pulling the strings. The next, Justin's being portrayed as the victim of a massive smear campaign. It's a classic case of he said, she said, but with million-dollar stakes and the internet choosing sides. So, what's the truth here? Is Blake Lively really a Hollywood mastermind, manipulating everything behind the scenes? Or is Justin Baldoni caught up in the chaos of a game of egos and power struggles? Honestly, your guess is as good as anyone's. But one thing's certain, Hollywood may be in the business of making films, but the real show happens when the cameras stop rolling. Share your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated on all the twists and turns in this wild story. You won't want to miss what happens next. And as always, thanks for tapping in now.